Hello Internet, and welcome to my live reaction for To Your Eternity, chapter 151. When we last left our heroes, Fushi revealed that he had been working a part-time job to save up money to get Gugu a ticket to Taknaha, and Gugu was a little shocked to learn that Fushi was planning on letting Gugu go. Go live a life without him. Not entirely sure Fushi is actually handling this as healthy as he seems to be, because it's Fushi, and handling departures healthily has never really been his strong suit. But the time passes, Hairo graduates. There's this big graduation party that also doubles as a sending off party for Gugu. The occult club gang shows up, and Hana and March have a very particular conversation, setting up Hana as a kind of reincarnation of Perona, perhaps. Afterwards, Gugu and Fushi sort of head to the airport so Fushi can see Gugu off. It's a really, really sweet moment. They promise to stay in touch, but Fushi says he's going to try to live without Gugu. Gugu says something in their closing text conversation to imply that he is accepting that Fushi wants to resurrect him forever and ever. Whether or not that's a healthy thing to accept is a whole other question, but let's leave that alone for now as we dive right on into chapter 151, Things That Connect Us, Part 1. And we open with a full-page panel of Kazumitsu and the sister, whose name I always forget, helping March put on a backpack. And we see her so proud-looking as she goes off to her first day of first grade. To all the incoming first graders, congratulations on your enrollment. We welcome you to Minamoto Elementary. And March goes to greet all these kids. Hello, my name is March. Let's all try to get along. She's very, loud and rambunctious like March always is. And the girl just sort of extends her hand to walks over. Okay, March-chan? And another girl, that's a weird name. Yeah, March doesn't really work in traditional Japanese, does it? But March kind of twitches, whether it's sort of a panic at being called weird or if she notices something, I'm not quite sure. But she still tries to go on. Nice to meet you. I'm March. Let's be friends. But the girl sort of looks mocking at March. What's that on your head? Referring to, of course, her rope. Let me see it, the other girl behind her says. And March takes it off. Isn't it cute? My mommy made it for me. But the first girl responds, you're not supposed to bring stuff like that to school. My mommy told me. And March counters, why not? You've got things in your hair too. Mine are hair ties. Yours is just a decoration. The second girl, though, kind of tries to work out what the rope is. A crown? Yeah, a crown. But March countering girl one's notion that she just has a decoration in her hair. Don't yours have decorations too? These ribbons were there from the start, so they're okay. And March snaps, then mine was there from the start too. The start? Since when? Since 500 years ago! Oh, so I think what the girl is saying is, what March is pointing out is that the ribbons aren't the main part of the hair tie. There's the hair tie, and the hair ties have a ribbon on it, I think. And that's what March is sort of protesting. And then the girl notes the little fuzz things on the sides of March's rope. But anyway, March just sort of drops that she was born 500 years ago. Though I think she was actually born 700 or 800 years ago. Because there's a 200-year gap between the first half of Act 1 and then the Kahak stuff. And then another 500 years between Renril and the present day, right? So I think it's closer to 700 or 800, but March is young, she doesn't know numbers. And the girl laughs. 500 years? You liar. And March snaps, I'm not lying. Sensei, we've got a liar in this school. And March takes her crown back and puts it on. She's clearly not exactly satisfied that she's here. Things are not going well for her. But we see, I think this might be the middle school gang. Fushi and Tonari and... Okay, we see one person in pants and then two skirts. Which might be Fushi and Tonari and Hana, maybe? Or maybe Yuki and Fushi as a girl and Tonari, maybe. I don't know. I hope things go well for March-chan. I'm sure she'll be fine. She's a sociable type. Bond's there too. If anything happens, he should be able to take care of it with cash. Is Bond at the elementary school? What's he doing there? Then the girl on the left says, "Oh, I'm going this way. And see you later. Good luck, Aiko." Oh, Aiko's in middle school now. Okay. All right. Though I think the other girl was Tonari, though. Because we can just see... Oh, there's a second pair of pants there, too. It's Fushi, it's Yuki, it's Aiko, and it's Tonari. Because we can see the darker legs on the other girl. Though I don't know why Aiko is going somewhere else. Is she in a different middle school, maybe? I don't know. But anyway, Aiko calls out, now I guess a 7th grader. Okay. And then at school, Hana calls out, "Yoo-hoo, morning." And then I think this is one of the occult club guys, maybe? "Hey, did you see the sheet? We're in the same class again, Fushi-kun." And then we hear these two girls in the background. "Gah, we're in a different class. Too bad." And then one of Funa's friends, the short-haired friend of Funa, like the first one to sort of rebuild their friendship. "You guys are close with Mizuha, right? Did something happen to her? Her name isn't on here anywhere." And she's talking to the entire occult club, who are all shocked to learn that Mizuha is not going to this school anymore, apparently. Yuki, who of course has been crushing on Mizuha this whole time. "What?" And they go over to a teacher. "She transferred. Something to do with her father's job." Okay. I have no idea where that's going now, because without Mizuha around, and with Fushi sort of everyone will leave me one day problem, at least diminished for now, what is the plot right now? Where are we going? What kind of arc are we going into? I don't know. And Yuki reacts, "What? She didn't tell us." "Well, it was sudden." The short-haired girl turns to Hana. "You really didn't know, Hana-san?" No, not a thing." And the girl responds with, "Huh, you weren't wearing your hair tie, so I thought something was up." And Hana... I think part of the reason Hana stopped wearing her hair tie was the kiss back in 146, I think. Though the question there is, it's kind of unclear how much time passed in the middle of last chapter. Because it's implied there's some time as we skip to Hairo's high school graduation. But, like, was that a period of months? Was that a period of a week or two? I'm not quite sure, but it's recent enough that if Hana stopped wearing her hair tie as a result of the kiss, it must have been recent enough that, like, no one really noticed yet, I guess. Either way, we then cut to Fushi and Yuki looking at some kind of device. Not quite sure what that is. It's the entry to Mizuha's apartment complex. The sort of entry computer thing. Yuki looks through the entrance. Maybe they already moved. And Fushi turns to leave. "Let's go. I don't think she's going to answer." "Huh? Hang on, what do you mean?" "I've been keeping an eye on their place, but I haven't seen any signs of them moving." That's a little stalkerish, Fushi, but, I mean, Mizuha's kind of a nut. I understand why you would be nervous around her. But Hana comes over to them. "How'd it go?" And Fushi tells her, "Looks like she's there, but she wouldn't see us." Okay. But given Yuki's maybe they already moved, I figured that, like, if she's transferred, she has already moved, right? But maybe not. Hana then sort of says, "Thank goodness. And there's still time to..." And Yuki cuts through all of this. "Come to think of it, tomorrow is Mizuha-senpai's birthday. I want to see Mizuha-senpai smile again. I'll do whatever it takes to see that." And Hana looks at Yuki, kind of smiles. "Yuki-kun, what can we do to make her smile again?" And then we see... This looks like the elementary school. Okay, like a class picture or something. Okay, say cheese. And we see... everyone kind of does this sort of calm smile, except Bon, who's apparently a teacher, in the background doing like a peace sign, and March has this disgusted face on. It's really funny. And Bon runs over to her. "Great job, March. Did you have fun?" But March runs over to Bon and like cries into his knees. And we can just hear these faint sobs from her. But Bon only sees the top of her head, and he asks, "Oh, what's the matter? Did something bad happen?" And then we can really hear March's sobs. And then this... Oh, it's Memori! Memori comes up, who must be like a 3rd or 4th grader now. "Bon-sa... Hi there, Memori-kun. Look, March, Memori goes to this school." I don't think March ever met Memori, given that Fushi's been trying to keep the whole knocker thing a secret this whole time. But Memori, I think, has... Because didn't Fushi mention March's name? Yeah, because on the next panel we have March. Oh, the one Fushi-san mentioned before. His mother? She doesn't really have the context for any of that at all, of course. And Bond looks over. Did you say something? No. What's the matter? And Bond tells her, well, I think she had a bad time at school. And Memori, bastion of empathy, even if she has to put up with the worst circumstances. Just like me, huh? Tries to, relate to March. March doesn't really look at her. But we cut to Fushi sort of warping to Bond's position. Oh, hi there, Fushi. And we see March and Memori are now playing. Fushi asks, what's March doing? Making mud balls with Memori-kun. Excuse me. Did something happen with you? I got a message from Gugu. He wants to see March all dressed up. This is perfect timing. She was crying until a moment ago. Crying? But we see now March is laughing. I'm afraid she didn't enjoy school very much, but now she's finally smiling. Huh? How? How? And we see those same girls that were kind of bullying her earlier are now sort of been roped into her friend group with the mud balls. We brought the water, and we see them all playing together, again, calling back to that earlier scene. And that's where we leave off. I thought we had 2 more pages, but apparently that is it for 151. So yeah, it's the real focus here is March's first day of school. Or it's kind of focused. We have that little 3-page break in the middle of what's going on with Mizuha. I'll talk about it in a bit once I finish talking about March. Because we're seeing here with March the same kind of thing we were seeing leading into Fushi's latest breakdown, right? That March, despite the fact that this is a better world in Fushi's mind, March isn't quite acclimating to this world as much as Fushi might like. You know, part of it is just kids are kids. It's not really a sort of modern day thing like we kind of saw with Gugu and Kai and Hairo and how they kind of brushed up against the new world. This is just, you put that many kids together and they're kind of dicks to each other. And also, March does not have the adult experience to kind of realize that if you tell people you were born centuries ago, they're not going to believe you. But it makes it understandable that March it's a different position than what we saw happening with Gugu and the gang back in 146 or 7-ish. But yeah, we still do have March not quite acclimating to her world at first, though. By chapter's end, the mud balls seem to have been much like Memori told Fushi, or was it Memori told Fushi? No, it was Memori's brother, right? God, go back to fucking that shithead. Okay, that negatively impacted my impression of the chapter, because it was Hirotoshi who was the one who first brought up the mud balls. Which worked, I guess, but the fact that Hirotoshi knows that, I think it said that it was something he did when he was a kid. But still, it's just, I don't like him. He's easily the worst character in this entire show. Memori's nice, and it's nice that she sort of allows March to sort of get friends with her help. It's a cute little bit. Even if its existence kind of necessarily reminds me of you-know-who. But yeah, then we have this bit with Mizuha. Or not with Mizuha, because Mizuha's missing. And I don't know why. Given that her focus is all on Fushi, and that as the host of the Guardian Knocker, she's sort of the leader of the Knocker cult, I don't know why, why she would leave. What is going on with Mizuha? But Yuki wants to do something tomorrow to make her smile for her birthday. We don't quite know what's going to be going on there, but I imagine that's going to be kind of the next immediate issue. Because they need to do something about Mizuha. Mizuha's always up to something, as well as the Guardian Knocker. So I imagine we'll be focusing on that very soon. Maybe even roping, at the very least, Hana into what's going on. Because I don't think Hana knows about the Knockers yet. Like, she had that kiss with Mizuha. but that's not quite the same thing as knowing what the hell is happening with this girl. And also, maybe we'll finally get the other immortals learning about the knockers like they should have learned 15 chapters ago. But yeah, there's a lot going on here, and a lot I want to see how it all plays out, especially with Mizuha, but also just March making friends is cute. March was always a good kid, and I'm glad that she's having a happy afterlife. But yeah, I think that's really all to say for this video, so I'm going to leave this video off here. Hope you all enjoyed the chapter and the video itself. If you did, feel free to drop me a like or subscribe, or, do whatever makes you happy, And as always, your life is your own, okay? Bye!